Okay, and I'm back. We're now in Montfaucon. We can now do what we had to do. You couldn't do it earlier, but let's
There was a small crowd of 5 sightseers. It's a weird thing, but you can take the most intelligent people in the world, put them in their vacation duds, and hey presto, they look like morons. Why is that? I had no desire to talk to the crowd.
Okay, so let's see if anyone's in the church. Yes, but I'm not gonna go there just yet.
Hey, hey you! What do you think you are doing? You stay away from that.
Excuse me, officer. Shouldn't you be off directing traffic or something?
You have seen the...
Yeah?
I could... or I can sit here. Which one?
Yeah, but...
And...
Well, obviously, what it seems to have done is repeat the same stuff if you talk to the same character before you do a certain thing. So I'm just gonna continue.
What do you know about medieval ironmongery? Have a look at this little baby.
a tripod. What is it for?
You mean you don't know?
No, monsieur. Nor do you, I think.
Look at this gem. What do you think?
Cut glass.
No, it's not. It's for real.
What kind of madman would go around waving a priceless gem under people's noses?
So either it's glass or I'm mad? I didn't like to think about that for too long. Have you seen this man before?
No. Who is it?
I believe him to be an international assassin.
Oh.
Is that all you can say? Oh.
I did wonder if I should say that I believe you to be an international paranoiac, but it didn't seem polite.
Do you know what this is?
Aha! You Americans with your notorious nose candy. I read Hollywood Wives. I know all about it.
If you tried to sniff this stuff, you'd wall up your nostrils. It's plaster of Paris.
It is. Thank heaven. For one awful moment, I thought I might actually have to arrest somebody. Alors, the paperwork. You have no idea.
Does this red nose mean anything to you?
Aha! A prosthetic nose. Very significant.
It is?
No, I am just having a little joke.
What do you make of this grease paint stained tissue?
Delightful. Would you like to see some of my used tissues?
Hell no.
Then please put yours away.
Do you know what this is?
It's a sewer key.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
The pattern looks Middle Eastern.
Take a look at this.
Ah, an electrician.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
Okay, so let's go and talk to this guy.
Hey, you with the balls.
Oui.
Does this plaster interest you?
Well,
Forget it. Forget that I asked. It didn't seem right to fry somebody's palm when they make their living with their hands.
That is actually quite funny.
Look, a red nose.
how you say, whoop-de-doo.
Does this grease paint mean anything to you?
It looks like one of mine, or at least another jongleur.
Or a clown?
Mais naturellement, a clown.
Hardly a breakthrough. Have you seen this man before?
No,
This gadget is a sewer key.
I do not want it. Thank you.
Well, I'm not selling it. I just wanted your opinion.
It is hardly my area of expertise.
I've got a medieval tripod.
And my Uncle Claude has hemorrhoids. So what?
Feast your eyes on this.
Incroyable. Is it real?
I think so.
Some people believe that great gems always have curses upon them.
Oh, that's garbage. Although, now that I think about it, both of the people who had this before me disappeared in mysterious circumstances. And the guy who was supposed to get this was shot and then murdered in his hospital bed. Do you want it?
No, thank you.
What do you think of this?
It is a medical device, oui?
Does this lab pass mean anything to you?
You work in a lab.
No, try again.
You steal lab passes?
No. Well, not as a habit. This was a special case. Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
You smoke.
No, I don't.
In that case, it means nothing to me.
How did you learn to be a juggler?
Juggler? What is this juggler?
It's you. You juggle, that makes you a juggler.
No, I am a jongleur.
A jongler? What's that?
Mon Dieu! A jongleur is an artist, a master of the contragravitic aeroballetic mysteries. In centuries past, the courts of the crowned heads of Europe had the jongleurs, witty, erudite men to whom the monarchs turned in their hours of need.
Wait a minute, wait. Let me get this straight. Our enemies are at the borders, plague ravages the land, and the peasants are revolting. Thank God we've got Chuckles the Jongler to throw his balls around. I don't think so. What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Le Templier? Ah, their last Grand Master, Jacques du Molay, was burnt on an island in the Seine in 1314.
Wow. You're pretty well educated for a juggler.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
That juggling doesn't look so difficult.
Oh, it does not, does it not? Perhaps you feel you could do better, no?
I'll give it a try.
Be my guest.
I had no idea what I was doing. But this guy was obviously an idiot, so how difficult could it be? A lot more difficult than I thought. That's how difficult.
Huh.
Still, it was my big chance to be derided by complete strangers.
Not so easy after all, is it?
No, I guess not.
It's pretty amusing actually, but let's try and get this done quickly because
Hello again.
Hello again, monsieur.
Does this red nose mean anything to you?
Ah, you are a clown.
Do I look like a clown?
No, although you juggle like one. Now, if I'd known you were a clown, it would have been amusing. And not a humiliation for you.
What do you mean?
Who ever heard of a plainclothes clown?
He had a point. So you're saying that if I juggle badly with a red nose, I'd be the king of comedy. But if I juggle badly without it...
You look like a pathetic loon. Oui, monsieur, you have it.
okay.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur, I'll be there.
I think this session is actually going to go pretty well. It should take me only a
Hi
few minutes to
again.
do this next bit.
Oui? What is it this time?
I'd like to have another try at juggling, please.
You have gone on a crash course, perhaps?
No, I just had an insight into presentation.
Huh?
Allow me to demonstrate. The balls, please.
If you insist on completing your humiliation, monsieur.
Okay, now for my secret weapon. The juggler was speechless with rage. You could have mistaken him for a mime. And without a word, he collected his balls and left in a fury. Hey! You forgot one of your balls! Hey! But he didn't hear. Better still, deprived of his entertainment, the gendarme decided maybe he ought to do some policing for a change.
Okay, so this next bit is actually going to be. I discovered this when I played the game myself the first time, and it's a nice little feature they added. Those of you who have played number 3 will know that you have to come back to this underground bit. That you have to, look at this and do something with these 3 panels. But if you come around here, recognise this? Yes, guys, it is indeed the door of number 3. The door where we have to go actually into the hideout of the Templars, which is actually above where the place where we're going to be in about 3 minutes. It won't take me very long to do it.
The door was a handsome piece of work. I pushed against the door, but it seemed to be locked.
Whoa, another fucking glitch there. Okay, so let's have a look.
There were 3 arches, each with an inscription.
On the original, you can't look at these up close, but you can on this one.
My medieval
No, you
French isn't much, but the few words I understood seemed to say, this is where the gallows used to stand. Maybe. That sounded pretty solid. There were 3 arches, each with an inscription. The wall had flaked, and anything once written on it had long since gone. The wall seemed in very poor condition. The inscription was undecipherable. The plaster had cracked and was falling away. I wondered why. It was time for some brutal destruction.
Oh, okay.
Hey, that's hollow! I'd poked a hole in an historical site. If any archaeologists came by, they'd lynch me for this. There was some sort of mechanism hidden inside the wall, with a lever in the middle of it. There were 3 arches, each with an inscription. The inscription was hard to read, but I made out Templier and something about innocence. Close up, I could see the plaster was thinner where I'd broken through, and behind it were some cogs and a lever. Here goes. The secret door had jammed. I couldn't get through that gap. I'd pulled the lever right over. Inside the hole, I could see one of the cogs had come loose and jammed the mechanism solid. A weird little boat lay tied up. I guess they used it to get maintenance crews around. Either that or the Phantom of the Opera was somewhere near. On the boat was a winching machine. The hook lay in a bed of chain.
Okay, so if you pick this up, he puts it over here. Now this is actually pretty clever.
The door mechanism was trashed. It would take a blacksmith or an engineer to do anything with that. Boy, had I ever made a mess of that door.
Okay, so I'm going to come back in the final session, most likely, for final session. Yeah, the final video of this session, which will again be about 15-20 minutes, just so I can get enough in this bit, so I can get this bit and finish this, and then do what I need to do to get to my next location. But this should be enough, so I'll be right back.